Hey, you guys. I hope you don't mind the voiceover again. I've been extremely tired this week, but I did want to come on here and share a very urgent dream that I received early this morning, March 7th. The dream started out where it showed me in this huge house. This house was extremely huge. And there were so many rooms to this home, so many different levels to this home. And it was made known to me that a storm was approaching, and it was approaching quickly. And I could see the winds. They were so strong. And I noticed a neighbor was outside, and I went outside to ask her if she wanted to come in so she can be protected from the storm. And she said, that's okay. My husband, he has, been preparing for this storm also. But I could tell when she said those words to me, it was almost like there was a hesitation in her voice. Like, I feel like maybe I should come with you, but I don't know. And I remember I asked her, was she saved? And I remember saying to her, to, make sure that your heart is right with the Lord. And when I spoke those words to her, she looked at me and she said, I think I will come inside with you. So she came inside, and I noticed at this point there were many people in this house. And it showed me, just preparing for the storm. I was bolting the doors. I was bolting the windows. I was making sure that every area of this home was protected so the winds would not come inside of the home and hurt anyone that was inside of this home. And it showed me shutting off all the water, anything that ran off of water. It showed me shutting all the systems down, even going from room to room, unplugging anything that was plugged up to preserve the lights. And I was preserving the lights and I was preserving the water all throughout this house. And I remember I was also making it a point to store water. So I was filling up these containers of water because I knew I wanted to make sure that the people inside of this home had water to drink. And as the dream progressed, it showed me in another area of this house because, like I told you, the house was massive. And I can't remember in detail what I was doing in the other part of the house, but it was made known to me that I needed to go back and check on the people that were on the opposite side of the home where I originally was. And when I went back to check on them, I noticed that they had cut the lights back on. And so I was going behind them, cutting the lights back off. And I was telling them, you guys, do not cut the light back on. We need to preserve these lights. And I noticed that some of the people that were in this home, they started leaving. They started walking out of the house because they believed that the storm wasn't coming. It didn't look like the storm was coming to them, so they thought it was safe to go ahead and leave. And I remember I was pleading with them not to leave because I knew the storm was coming, but they wouldn't listen. And there was a man in the next scene where he was laying on the floor and he was injured. And I don't know exactly what happened, but it showed that there was something wrong with one of his foot, and it had to be cut off. And it was made known that I had to be the one to cut the foot off. It was like, I don't know. I know it sounds weird, but the Lord gave me understanding of this particular scene in the dream. But like I said, I was made to cut his foot off. And he was laying on the ground and he was just crying. And I remember I was caressing his hair and I caressing his head and I kissed him on the cheek and he kind of gave me a nod like, it's okay, go ahead and do it. And it was made known in the next scene of the dream that it had been done. And I remember as I was waking up out of this dream, there was a clear image of a just one red balloon. It was just a single red balloon was soaring in the sky. And when I saw it soaring in the sky, that's when I woke up fully out of this sleep. Now, there was also a part of the dream where I saw these stairs. They were not normal stairs that you would see in a house. These type of stairs that I saw was kind of like ladder stairs, like what you would see on a ship. And so while I was meditating on this dream, the Lord began to let me know that this house was actually a representation of the ark, and that the storm that was approaching is actually the storm that we see brewing in the natural, or spiritually, I should say. We see this literally going on now. We know we're in the season of Noah, and we know that we are in the season of the rapture. And that is what the storm represented. It represented the fact that, we are on the cusp of the rapture and the great tribulation starting. And the fact that there were people already in this home and they began to leave when they found or when they thought that the storm wasn't coming, that was the part that really bothered me the most, because these were people who were actually in the ark. They were in the place of safety. And because they believed that the storm wasn't happening when they thought it was going to happen, they thought it was safe to go back outside. And I was pleading with them to not leave, but they would not listen to me. And I believe this is a warning to us all that, so many of us have been out here warning, trying to let people know that the storm is approaching and that we need to stay in the ark. We need to stay close to the Lord like never before. But I feel like there are people who believe that they still have time, that the warnings that are going forth they're not taking it seriously. And so that's what really broke my heart the most, is because there were people who were actually in the place of safety, but yet they left. And so I just pray that, people will really take heed to the warnings that are going forth, because I know for myself that the dreams and the visions are intensifying and they're amplifying. And the messages that are going forth is one of dire warning that we need to really take heed and make sure that we're really taking this seriously, because the time is at hand. And you guys, when I woke up from this dream, what was really in my spirit was, I don't know, I felt like this was a final warning. I felt that so strong in my spirit, final warning. The parts in the dream where it showed me cutting the waters off, cutting the water off, cutting the lights out, it's not meant to dissect that, any deeper than what was shown. I just truly believe the way the dream played out was a way of showing how one would prepare for a storm. The part about the man's foot having to be cut off, that right there really took me a while to, get some understanding on that, because it did kind of set, it didn't seem like it would fit into that scenario of everything else that I had saw in the dream. But the Lord put a scripture in my spirit, and this was the scripture that he gave to me. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 30, it says, "If your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell." And I believe what the Lord was showing is that, whatever is going on in our lives, whatever, sins that we have, whatever struggles we have, that it's better to get rid of it now. It's better to make sure that we're doing everything humanly possible to make sure that we're getting rid of that thing that will potentially hinder us from going with the Lord. Because this guy, when I tell you, he was like just laying there in pain, but it was like he knew that this had to be done. He was willing to do whatever it took. So the final message in this video is, if you are not in the ark, get in the ark now. If you are in the ark, stay in the ark. The storm is coming, and we need to make sure that we are prepared. I chose this picture because I actually went to the ark in Kentucky, and I believe that it was very fitting for this video. So you guys, I do believe that that balloon that I saw going up in the sky was letting us know that that's what's about to take place. We're all about to go up in the sky. Because as I was seeing that red balloon go up, I thought of the movie Up. It's an animated cartoon movie. So I believe the Lord is saying, we're about to go up, you guys. I love you. Stay in faith.